Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so for today's class, we're going to continue national income accounting, which we have finished with the calculation under expenditure approach. Yeah. So in order to calculate national income, we have three approaches: expenditure approach, product approach, and also income approach. So we have finished with the first approach, which is expenditure approach. So today we're going to look at how to calculate product approach. So under the output of product approach, yeah, national income is value or measured by adding up the net value of all the goods, final goods and also services. So this kind of approach, yeah, is actually depend or based on different sectors in the economy. So if you want to know, there are actually three types of sectors in economy. There are primary sector, secondary sector, and also tertiary sector. So what is primary sector? By the way, you can look at page 298 in your textbook. Yeah? So what is primary sector? So any activities involve agriculture sector, any agriculture sector, forestry, and so on. That is um, known as primary sector. Okay, so agriculture, forestry, mining, quarrying, and so on. That is basically is as primary sector. For secondary sector, any activities involving construction, manufacturing, that is secondary sector. And for tertiary sector, any kind of services. For example, education, transportation, and then finance, governance, electricity, and so on. That is considered as tertiary sector. Right. So how to find for the gross domestic product? Yeah. So gross domestic product is equal to the value of all final product in the economy. So all the value of primary sector, secondary sector, and also tertiary sector, right? And usually for product approach, the gross domestic product is um, in terms of factor cost. Yeah? Um, so before this, for expenditure approach, the gross domestic product is in terms of market market product, yeah, market or market price, yeah, market price. But for uh, product approach, GDP is usually termed as in the factor cost, right? So in order for you to differentiate for how to calculate for one type of one approach to another approach is that we just change the GDP. Yeah. So how to calculate the GDP? Yeah. So the GDP is actually determined different types of approaches. Yeah, for example, kalau expenditure approach, kita akan guna all aggregate consumption, investment, government expenditure, and net export. Yeah. Tapi untuk apa ni? Product approach, GDP dia value of all sectors in the economy lah, primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Right? So for the rest of the calculation for national income, sama saja macam expenditure approach. Yang berubah hanyalah how to calculate the GDP sahaja. Okay? So we going to look at the example of the question, and after that you will do some exercise.